everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. So, as the title of the video says, we finally got a new car. I say finally, it's only been like a week or so since we sold the Porsche, but I was searching online for a few places, a few different models, and finally we settled on one, and it actually ends up being a Mercedes-Benz, which Aaron wanted anyway. So I got onto a Facebook page, kind of looked at the make and model that I wanted, asked what people have for sale. First guy that messaged me, it's what I was looking for. It's kind of that dropping jaw factor. I was already kind of looking at that model, but not seeing what I wanted. Like too much chrome was on it, not the right color, etc. And as soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted it. The price was excellent for what it is. It's down here in Atlanta, Georgia. We got an early morning flight. We've actually been up since 5 a.m. Flight flew out at 8 a.m., but we had to get there, get checked in and all that stuff. But flight went super smooth. It was actually the first time that I flew Delta. I really enjoyed it. Each seat in front of you had a nice computer screen on it that you could watch movies or watch your flight. I've never had that before. Most of the ones, like when we went down to Vegas, we took Frontier. That was the most god-awful flight and airline there and back ever. Won't be doing them anymore. But anyway, showed up in Atlanta. Nice, beautiful day. Very warm as opposed to home. But transaction went smooth. The seller did not want to be on camera or at his house, where we signed everything and got everything exchanged with a bill of sale, title, giving him the check from the bank, etc. and stuff like that. But
super nice guy though.
Yeah. Can you guys guess what it is, or should we show him?
I think we have to show him.
Okay. All right, we ended up picking up a 2016 Mercedes-Benz AMG GTS. It's kind of their flagship two-door sports car at the moment. They've had other cars, obviously, on the market, like the SLS with the gold wing doors that pop up and out this way. This is kind of like a newer version of that. But these things come with a 4-liter twin turbo, or what Mercedes calls a bi-turbo, V8 engine that puts out, for this particular GTS model, puts out 503 horsepower. I can't remember the torque off the top of my head, but honestly, it really doesn't matter at this point, because he has what I would consider a stage 1 tune on it. All he has is upgraded filters for each turbo, and there's a spacer filter that kind of pulls the filter up and out of the intake track, because I guess the factory one goes down too low, blocks the intake, and they say it's an increase of horsepower to pull that up. Now, if you're not familiar with horsepower numbers, when I say 503 horsepower, I am saying that is what the manufacturer rates it at. Now, when manufacturers rate horsepower numbers, they always rate it at the motor or at the crankshaft or the flywheel. Well, when you put a motor in a car with a transmission, drive axle, rear axles, tires, wheels, rotors, etc., you lose a lot of power. On this particular car, I don't know how much loss there is, probably around 15%, because it's got a carbon fiber drive shaft. It's only rear-wheel drive. It's not all-wheel drive, so you don't lose as much because it doesn't have a lot of big, heavy stuff on it. This car does come with the carbon ceramic brakes. I've never had a car with carbon ceramic brakes. Luckily, the mileage is super low, and these brakes last 60% longer than steel, because if we do ever end up having to replace these guys, they're about $3,000 a piece per rotor. So we're far away from that. They're still brand new. We really don't have to worry about that, but that just basically goes to help with the rotational weight, because that is basically a carbon fiber rotor with silica carbide impregnated into it for a ceramic carbon rotor. So should help, but you still get about a 15% drivetrain loss. So you take 503 minus 15%, there's your horsepower. Now with this stage 1 tune, this car is putting down 535 horsepower at the wheels. We've only gunned it once or twice, and we actually waited till we got on a little bit of a strip of road, and Erin really hadn't experienced it yet, and her exact words were actually, oh, I was waiting for this thing to have power. I didn't think it had any because I hadn't punched it. It puts you in your seat hard. I personally have never owned a vehicle with 500 and something at the wheels, and going back to the manufacturer's rating, if you add that 15% on, it's actually putting down about 631 horsepower at the motor, and I believe 695 foot-pounds of torque. That is an absolute kick in the chest. I've never felt that before. She's never felt that before. It's awesome. Originally, this car brand new was $169,000. We paid nowhere near that because unfortunately for most supercars, which yes, I am calling it a supercar, even though it is a mass-produced car, to get something like that unique, special, that much horsepower, I'm calling it a supercar. I don't care what anyone says. Again, we paid nowhere near $169,000, but it has basically carbon fiber package on it. The wing there is aftermarket that I believe he put on. He is the second owner, so I am now the third. The inside has full Alcantara and leather, which I've never experienced that before too, but again, carbon fiber package. It has the piano black accent trims, along with, again, everything being a dry carbon fiber. It does have the upgraded racing seats as opposed to the comfort seats. I don't think Erin's noticed this yet, but the roof is black, but the roof is actually a glass panel. There is a shade in here that you have to pull back. So it's not really a sunroof, but kind of looks like a sunroof since it's all glass up in there. The seller did upgrade a few more things. For example, you don't see AMG, you don't see GTS. He debadged it, but the badging back here, he painted black, and up on the front grille, which is probably why this thing stands out to me so much, all of the grills are blacked out instead of chrome. The only thing he did add that was not AMG was the carbon fiber door handles to get rid of the chrome handles. Sorry, waiting for the trash truck to leave. But anyway, as I was saying, it is definitely a unique and different design to have two turbos sitting on top of the engine instead of down lower. Like I said, downpipe removal, if I go ahead and do that, should be pretty easy, but I believe you have to remove the transaxle to do that, so, or the drive shaft, I'm not 100% sure. So because that downpipe basically is in the shape of an S, you can cut it in the middle and then remove the one set of cats from the axle back and then go ahead and unbolt and probably just pull them out this way. Might be a little bit easier to go ahead and do, but again, we'll see when we get to that stage. So we're gonna get back on the road. We do have an interesting plan getting back home. It looks like it's about a 9-hour drive, about 450 miles. Not too bad, but we're gonna go ahead and head up through North Carolina, and we're gonna stop on Tail of the Dragon. If you're not familiar with that, it's, I think, 311 turns through the Great Smokies, or?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it's the Great Smoky Mountains, but I've never gone through there. Apparently it's one hell of a drive, but what better way to take a sports car with comfort mode, sport plus mode, and race mode. We've got automatic or manual shifting, which I didn't mention before, but it does have paddle shifting, but you can leave it in automatic also. It has a dual clutch transmission, but there is no manual shifting, so Erin's looking forward to actually being able to drive it because she can drive stick. She's actually even owned a Gixxer 600 before. She can even shift and ride a motorcycle and motocross, but
I can shift a car, I just don't want to.
Just never wanted to. Never wanted to drive the Porsche, and I've had her test drive a few in parking lots, and she doesn't want to ever really go out on the street. So what simpler way to have a supercar that everyone can drive that's automatic?
Thanks.
Trying. All right, so we're gonna get going here, get back on the road, and see what this thing can do. So if you've ever researched one of these things, they're known as probably one of the most beautiful interiors ever made. Everything about this thing is just awesome. Everything feels awesome. I've never had suede or Alcantara interior before. The exhaust vents, the buttons, everything looks just so well put together. The only thing that I will say that I don't like is I did want the piano black, or actually in person it looks more like a real dark chrome type finishing. The only thing that I'm not 100% about is it scratches. Now, I personally think it looks a heck of a lot better than the brushed aluminum, but again, I think the piano black scratches a little bit more. There are a few scratches on this that we may be able to polish out if I take it to Jesse and see what he can do, but we'll have to see when we get back home. But that's really, honestly, my only gripe is I didn't know that it was scratched. I was 100% sure it was going to be scratched with 34,000 miles on it because it's basically soft plastic and a piano black type finish. So it is what it is. I do wish the boost gauge actually showed a number instead of just showing boost, and it has a line from 0 to max. I wish I knew how much that actually was putting down, because they are very small turbos, but two of them, and they're small, there's almost 0 turbo lag, which I believe that is why Mercedes puts them on top of the engine. You're basically reducing length of pipe and everything. I think it has something to do with the intercooler pipe too, which how it feeds it to and then from back into the engine. It's a very small and short run, so boost is almost instantaneous. You just have to be in the right gear. So we've made it up to Tennessee. It looks like we're about a minute away from the start of the Tail of the Dragon. Again, never been here before, but so far some pretty amazing sights and colors and everything else. I'm gonna hand it over to Aaron, and we're gonna see just how fun this little piece of road is.
Driving this Nissan here is really at their max.
He's going for that. He's doing 65, 70.
I know, I feel like he personally is maxed out right now. He's gonna let you go around. He knows what you're looking for. Oh my god.
What?
Maybe he's just going home. So hard to stay forward. You did that and I came up like this. Did you see the dam?
I know.
Very exciting. What?
I can't see.
You're about to be on it. Wow. This is how you want to drive Tail of the Dragon. Behind a boat.
How long do you think it would take for that boat to go away?
How many
Hey everybody, welcome back. So we got finished with Deal's Gap, or Tail of the Dragon, here about an hour ago. It's 8:20 at night right now. We've been kind of driving all day, it seems like, but we stopped in at Aaron's aunt and uncle's house. We were kind of driving home going towards Deal's Gap, and she noticed on the map that
We
a
were
city...
in LJ.
LJ. City was familiar. She knew that her aunt and uncle moved down there not too long ago. It's up in the mountains kind of Georgia. Beautiful, scenic, over on a huge hill going all the way down. You can see all the mountains in the background, and pretty nice spot. So we were glad we stopped in there for about an hour or so. So we're 349 miles from home. We're getting our first tank of gas.
And we're tired.
Yeah, I'm extremely tired. We've got, let's see here, our 200 and roughly 60 miles on the car, and we're already empty. So it's not the most fuel efficient vehicle out there. I think online it was saying on the highway you can get somewhere around 24 or 22. I'm pretty sure that's in comfort mode or maybe in intelligent mode. I think that's what the I stands for. I've got to look that one up still. But gets about 14 miles to the gallon on the street, so we're gonna be burning through a lot of gas if we keep doing like Tail of the Dragon and stuff like that. So luckily we're just hit I-75, so it should be pretty much a straight shot all the way back to Ohio. So we're gonna count this as fuel stop number 1. Hopefully we'll be able to make it, but I doubt we'll be able to, even though we're doing all highway. So we'll get another stop in probably, so that way at least we have a full tank when we get home. But stay tuned, check back with us, and hopefully the rest of the trip goes okay, because I am tired again, and these seats are they're a little firm. I think they have the more racing seats and then a comfort seat. I think these are 18-way adjustable, more racing seats. You can increase the crap out of the side bolsters and the hip bolsters and basically pinch your body in.
On your seat, not on my seat.
Yeah, apparently just on mine. I haven't been in that one yet. But they get very tight, very hard. Lumbar support's good to kind of take it away and add it, but really no padding in these things. So I don't know how many long trips we'll be doing in this car, but again, stay tuned. We're gonna fill up and then we'll be back at it. Oh, 3 a.m. back home, tired. We'll look at the car tomorrow in the daylight, go over a little bit more. Then we'll talk a little bit about what plans we're going to do, and see if you guys have anything in mind. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.